I did science in college, so I studied chemistry, which was great fun. But when I went out to kind of find work, I just found that all the chemistry and lab jobs are all really, really boring. So I ended up kind of not planning to, but I ended up working in sales and in recruitment. So over the years, working in different sort of areas like that, I also had a bit of an interest in marketing, which drove sales. So I also had a keen interest in kind of what made people kind of make decisions to buy things, or kind of decisions about what products or services were better over others. So I suppose keeping an eye on that side of, I suppose, the sales culture was always kind of a curious kind of topic in my mind. And then with myself and my wife Gwen, over the years, we've seen loads of businesses that seem to struggle a little bit on the marketing side. It's always kind of coming up with new ideas, and people seem to be really busy running their own business and didn't have time to kind of sit back and look at how they should really kind of be pushing their products out there into the marketplace. So we were also loads of great ideas, so we were kind of thinking, okay, maybe we need to have a chat with some of these people and bounce a few ideas off them and give them a little bit of inspiration. So as a company, what we try to do a little bit different is that we really communicate with our potential customers to say, look, this is how you could do things. If they understand where we're coming from with our ideas and stuff, quite often then they're like, okay, great, we get it now, but we still don't have time to do it. So we tend then to kind of help them with getting those ideas into kind of practice, giving them the skills to do it, or we kind of help work with them and kind of manage it for them. Yeah, you're always kind of thinking, oh, that would be great. I would like to do things my own way. You know, like we'd be chatting and we'd say, oh, wouldn't it be great if you could just do it in a certain way? You know, if you didn't have to run everything kind of by somebody else and follow the traditional methods. And it's a kind of a leap of faith in a way. You're kind of going, okay, you're going to have to just kind of trust your instincts and maybe a little bit kind of go, yeah, well, let's just go for it and try it. And there's a lot of time that you spend sitting on the fence with those ideas, kind of wondering, will I, won't I? And everybody is the same, I suppose, fears that if it doesn't work out, what happens? You know, A, it doesn't work out and you're gutted yourself because your idea didn't work out. B, will it not work out and people will kind of point and laugh and go, oh, you're thinking. Or C, all those combined and you've lost a load of money, you don't have a job, and you have to put your tail between your legs and go back to where you started. So I suppose all those sort of things are the little kind of hurdles that people probably have in the way of making stuff a reality, that they can kind of go, you know what, I could actually take a leap and maybe it'll work. So you spend a while chewing on those things before you're happy enough to kind of go, okay, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet, you know. I don't think so. I think people were reasonably encouraging to the point that I suppose it's more of a kind of a personal kind of step that you're taking. You know, people say, oh yeah, give it a go and try it out. It's a good idea. People would avail of your services. But it still comes down to yourself making that choice. It's, you know, if you're looking for support, you can find support out there. You'll have, I suppose, like local enterprise boards, and you'll have people who will put you on a course, and a business mentor will come along and he'll tell you 10 steps to do to say that, yeah, you can't fail. But it comes down to your own kind of commitment. And like the best people to listen to sometimes are your friends that just reassure you that, look, if it all goes wrong at the end of the day, you'll be fine. You know, I found just when I mentioned it to a couple of people, they're like, oh yeah, it's a great idea. And then they'd look at me and kind of go, you've had other great ideas. But I think if it's a drive, you have a passion for it, you're just looking for a little bit of a kind of an emotional push from people sometimes. Oh, great. It feels amazing. You know, it's hard to give out when you're getting up in the morning to go to work, when you're working for yourself, because it's all your own fault. You have no one to blame anymore. But it does, like, there's a sense of achievement, even if, like, I know different people follow different dreams and goals because they have a passion for things. Some people like to do it just for a sense of achievement. I've worked with some amazing bosses over the years, and I've always wondered kind of what makes them tick a little bit. But when you're doing something for yourself that you've always wanted to do, it's more of a kind of a personal satisfaction out of it. Especially if you're doing something you have a passion for, because like, you know, when you do something right and you do it with people, you know, you can kind of see how that positive energy bounces off them as well. So for our business, referrals is a huge part of what we do. So if our clients don't appreciate and understand what we do, even if we do a good job, they're less likely to refer us. Whereas if we do it properly and they understand and they get it, they're happy to tell people about it, tell other people about it, and you know, kind of sing your praises. So the sense of achievement is one thing, but making it work, that it's going to be a career, is another thing. You know, so you got to balance doing what you love and doing it right, and bring it into the context that like it's a path that you're going to follow. You know. Start now. Just do it. I probably, when I look back now, and I kind of think, oh, why didn't I do it so long before that? Why did it take me so long to actually turn it around? You know, in my head I was kind of saying, yeah, I'm going to do that, must do it. And I'd say probably 6 or 8 months went by with me actually ready to put things in place, and it just took ages for some reason. So it may take longer than you think. So get stuck in now and take the first steps, whatever they are. You'll have plenty of time to think about it as it's all unraveling or coming together, or whichever way you see your kind of your path going. But just bite the bullet and do it. Yeah. Cool.
If you could go back to college, would you change course?
I've thought about that a few times. I don't think so. The course I did in college, I didn't know what to do. I was kind of scratching my head. I did 3 science subjects in secondary school, and I really enjoyed them. And I didn't know what I wanted to do as a career. I hadn't kind of a long-term plan, so I just decided to do that course because it interests me. 3/4 of the way through it, I was kind of like, oh God, you know, this as a job, it's going to be a nightmare. But I really liked it. Now, once my final exams were done, I was like, that was it. I did 3 job interviews, and that confirmed that I didn't want to work in that industry. But if I was to go back, I don't know what else I would do, you know. Like when you do your little tests that try and figure out what your interests are, you know, like one told me I was going to be an accountant, another one told me I was going to be a project manager. But if I was to go back and do something, I don't know, I'd probably still just go back and probably look at the prospectus and go, which one sounds the most interesting, you know. At the end of the day, you can't foresee 5 years down the road, and you grow and change as a person, so no matter what you study, by the time you get to there, you're kind of going, oh, that's like, somebody just told me about a cool job, and that's what I want to do. So I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but just follow your heart in that situation, like, you know.